This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other.
Welcome everybody to Wednesday War Games episode number 44. Liam, tell me all about Gamescom.
There was gaming at a convention, and things occurred there, but not a lot of them.
Listen, we promised the people, it was in our tweet, we're doing 2 episodes of AEW. We're doing 2 episodes of NXT. We're doing an episode of Takeover. I guess it is an episode of Takeover. We're doing an episode of Takeover. And we're also doing Gamescom. So we'll start with Gamescom. We'll put the games in Wednesday War Games.
Gamer car.
Oh, you're super into the gamer car, aren't you?
Gamer car rules. So
was it
stupid.
like when they showed the trailer for the gamer car, it looked like a fake car. It looked like a video game trailer.
Car.
I was like,
that's a real car.
Why does Forza Horizon look better than this car?
Because soon games will beat reality.
The fake video games cars look better than the real gamer cars.
And the soon-to-be commercially available gamer car.
You gonna buy it?
No. But I would love to. The gamer car should sponsor us.
Listen, if you go to redcircle.com/show/Wednesday War Games, you can sponsor this podcast, or you can throw some money. You can go to Voices of Wrestling/donate. And
please
if you give
donate $50,000 so I can buy the gamer car.
Probably going to be more than that. If you give us enough money to buy a gamer car, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll use it for the show, so it's a tax write-off.
Yeah, we'll drive up to the show every week in the gamer car.
Yeah, into our studio.
Our famous Wednesday War Games studio. It's actually been a while since we've done a show, Liam.
Yeah.
Last show was just me, and then because the schedules got jumbled around, we're talking about doing 2 episodes this week, but it's like, why would we bother? We'll just do everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
basically.
So Gamescom. You have no takes about Gamescom, except that it put you to sleep.
Who's ready for it literally put me to sleep. I did fall asleep during the Destiny trailer. Also, it was on at like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., one of the a.m.s for me, so it's perfectly reasonable for me to have fallen asleep to Gamescom. What's the hot takes from Gamescom? Ratchet and Clank looks pretty sick.
But most of that trailer was already shown at the PlayStation thing. It was just slightly more detail, but nearly all of that was in the PlayStation showcase. So it's like, it's not even like a particularly new trailer.
Honestly, the best thing was for a game that I don't even play, and it was the Fall Guys Season 2 reveal.
I played my first few games of Fall Guys yesterday, so I'm on board with the meme game. It's actually quite a fun meme game, so I'll allow it.
I'm a big supporter of it just because Devolver. Give him that shit. Give him that money.
Have you given them that money?
Nope.
So you're a hypocrite, is what you're saying.
Is it free?
It's free on PS Plus, but it's gone into the next month, I think, so it might not be free on PS Plus anymore.
I haven't played the game. I'm just happy for their success.
So technically I haven't given them money either, because I did get it on PS Plus, but I assume that, I don't know how PS Plus works, but like apparently it did insanely well on PS Plus, so I assume they get more money for that. I don't know.
Sony's probably like, here you go, just take this, please stay here and don't go to Xbox.
Yeah, well, their exclusivity will expire. Well, it's also on PC, and it's done very well. The fact that it's done very well on PC as well, where it's just available on Steam to purchase, is actually quite impressive, because it's for free. It's available on free on PS Plus for the month.
Did you know that those motherfuckers are 6 feet tall?
Who are 6 feet tall?
The Fall Guys.
Oh, so in this world, they're all 6 feet tall, and everything's just much bigger than them?
Yep.
That's some weird canon right there. Where did you learn this?
I saw it on Twitter, so it must be true.
Everything on Twitter is true. That's a fact of life.
It was on a gamer site.
The true source of information on the internet, gamers.
Gamer car, gamer car, gamer car.
You and your gamer car.
Yeah, big congratulations to Sony PlayStation Game of the Year, Cyberpunk 2077.
You were so confused by these awards.
It was so stupid. And then you were like, "Oh yeah, they're just like the best in show like awards for the thing." And then like at the end they announced, "And now we're going to be revealing the best in show stuff." And it's like, wait, what was the entirety of what you just fucking showed me?
Yeah, they were just the individual console games. No, they were the best in show at the show. They do this at every freaking convention, Liam. Why are you so confused about this? There's best games of E3, there's best games of Gamescom, there's best games of PAX.
Yeah, they don't do it during the fucking stream.
Because there's usually not a stream.
It was just very confusing, and I think since Jeff hosts the Game Awards, he should be more particular about what things are announced on his streams.
That's the reason he sent it over to Sidney Goodwin from IGN to announce it. Jeff is like, no, we can't have confusion here. I'll send it over to the IGN person.
IGN is biased.
Oh yeah, you were very confused. This upset you far more than it should.
It did. It's so stupid. Just do it in a press release. Put it on the fucking show. On a show that's already got 2 hours of nothing.
There really was very little on it. It's just like, oh, you guys have nothing, don't? And I appreciate it. It's a very difficult time for making video games, and it's like everyone is struggling. And I think like Ratchet and Clank isn't coming out this year. I don't think any of these. I think Cyberpunk is getting delayed again. I think Assassin's Creed's getting delayed. I don't think any of these games are coming out this year. But
there was the one game that they like. they announced. Oh, it was Dragon Age. It's like, we're going to show you the nothing that we have. Here, look at all the nothing. We've literally just thought of this game, and we're announcing it as a thought. There's nothing.
In fairness, it's the second time they've announced it as a thought. They did this at the Game Awards as well.
So stupid.
They also did a Dragon Age featurette there. That was like, oh, Dragon Age, we're making another one.
There was on the Street Fighter 5 like summer reveal stream, they were talking about season 5 or 6, I forget which one it is, and they were like, alright, so we're going to announce some characters. We literally just left the boardroom meeting where we decided which characters we're going to make, so we have nothing to show you except for a picture, but we're doing these characters. And it was like, what's the point of announcing characters when you haven't even started working on them?
This is the reason Sakurai is the best, because usually when he announces a character, he has a nice little trailer, and when he actually reveals them, he goes through them in depth for 30 minutes.
But it was just... it was really funny. It's like, here, yep, there's a sketch of the character. They're going to be in it.
Here's a sweet JPEG of the person we're putting in the game.
And, yeah. And then Kenny was there. And he had an AEW shirt.
Best bout machine. Alright, so that's Gamescom.
Yep, in depth.
Into
Gamescom. It was kind of a boring show.
Yeah, nothing happened. There is really nothing to talk about. It's a show where nothing happened. Every week we talk about AEW, Dynamite, WWE, NXT. This week we have...
Every single fucking week.
Yes. We have 4 whole weeks of TV. Well, 2 weeks of TV, but 2 episodes each. Plus a takeover to talk about, so we better get into it. Last week, the week before actually, technically, it was a draw. Because I voted NXT, the poll voted AEW, and you weren't here. So
I get to break it now?
You get to break it now. What was your take on 3 weeks ago NXT or an AEW while we're here?
Can you give me just a brief reminder of what was
on those shows? I could not for the life of me tell you what was on those shows.
I remember it was a pretty bad AEW show, and I don't remember any strong feelings towards NXT, so let's give it to NXT.
Alright then, we're beginning with NXT. So we have 2 weeks, the show before TakeOver, the show after TakeOver, and TakeOver. So we'll start with the show before TakeOver. Yeah.
We're going to go through every quarter hour of every show. We're going to talk about the ratings. We're going to talk about every little aspect of every show. We're going to be here for 6 hours.
I think we're going to be a little quicker than that. We're probably going to do a high-level takes rather than blow-by-blow of each show just for this week only. Of course, you're very used to our blow-by-blow of each show. And they're very important. Liam's like, we forgot that pre-tape. And I'm like, do you have anything to say about that pre-tape? And Liam's like, no. It's like, why did you bring it up then? But
I just feel like the entire show should be represented.
So, so we're going back to the August 19th episode of NXT, which opened with Johnny Gargano qualifying for the North American ladder match. Also had Velveteen Dream qualify for the North American ladder match in the main event against Finn Balor. How did you feel about those matches, Liam?
Rich Holland rules.
Well, he freaking killed Johnny Gargano.
No, he
Learn
didn't.
How to wrestle.
That was such an overblown spot.
to wrestle.
He was fine. It was the angle. It was literally the story of the match that they told. I don't even
dropped him on his head.
No, he didn't. That shit was protected.
He completely botched a power slam and dropped him on his head.
You're all getting worked.
He doesn't know how to wrestle. He doesn't know how to do a power slam.
I legitimately don't think that was real.
Head.
I think you're all getting worked.
No, he dropped him on his head. He very clearly dropped him on his head, Liam.
The whole point of that spot was to be like, oh my god, Gargano's hurt, and then he cheats and wins. That's literally what the story was and what happened.
Nah.
So you're just saying it just so happened that that giant spot happened to flow with entirely what they were going to do towards the end of the match.
Yeah, I think he was going
to
cheat to beat the monster.
It just so happened that the end of the match was going to be that Gargano was hurt.
No, he was actually hurt.
No, he wasn't.
Like the end of the match was that he was going to cheat to beat Ridge Holland so that they protect Ridge Holland, which is fine.
Yeah, he cheated by using his injury.
No, Candice LeRae interfered.
Yeah, after they did the whole like, oh, he's injured, look at him, and then Candice came up.
No, Candice was just going to interfere, and he was just going to beat him.
I'm beginning to think that it's going to be a bit of an issue talking about a show from 2 weeks ago when I have a very specific set of what happened in my head, and I don't want you to deviate from that at all, please. Please stick to what I remember.
Liam can't remember what happened at the show. He's like, no. But yeah, Candice interfered. Johnny hit his DDT and won. He dropped him on his head, Liam. He botched a power slam. He doesn't know how to do a power slam. He's trying to do like the big Rick Steiner power slam, but he can't do it. Dropped him on his head, and Johnny nearly died.
No, it was fine.
The match was nothing.
Ridge Holland
I thought Ridge looked much worse than he looked in the three-way, which is not surprising given he had to carry a singles match instead of just doing his stuff and disappearing.
Holland looks like a young Lesnar.
He dropped him on his head. Lesnar never dropped people on their head.
No, he never does that.
Most of the back of their neck, but that's planned.
Just like that spot was. Continue.
Dakota Kai, who cares? As I scroll through
Dakota
these
Kai's
shows...
gear rules.
Yeah.
It's so shiny. It's so nice.
We'll talk about more about Dakota Kai in the other shows. It's actually one of a pointless match here.
I don't really... Like, this segment didn't make me interested in Kai ear. It made me interested in Raquel ear. Like, I want that match way more than Dakota Kai.
In fairness, based on the this week's NXT, that's probably where they're going. So,
well, they're going Raquel Rhea.
No, they had Mercedes drop Rhea off the apron. But like I read that as Raquel, Io, and Mercedes and Rhea.
I guess because they gave Rhea the big stare down with it at Takeover, it made me feel like they're going to go with that first and then.
You see, I think it's the other way around. I think they'll do Mercedes first and then do like Raquel at the next Takeover, build toward that. Legado del Fantasma defeated... No, did they defeat? Yeah, they did defeat. This is, the problem with going back to 2 weeks ago. They defeated Tyler Breeze, Fandango, and Isaiah Scott to build up a match to this week where Scott got a title shot. That makes sense. But, sure. Also, the fact that frickin' Breezango then went on to get the title shot... fair enough, they won a three-way at the Takeover, but it would have made so much more sense for Breezango and Scott to win this match on every level, given that Scott got a title shot and Breezango won the frickin' belts.
I think the idea is that they want to say that you may be able to beat these people when they're separated, but when they're a unit, they're just like, look at them, and they have a headbutting mask.
Which I don't like the headbutting mask at all. Ugh.
It's loaded. The loaded mask.
It's stupid. Pat McAfee. You got very mad at Pat McAfee.
I got mad at Pat McAfee because he's annoying as shit.
But like you were live DMing me your thoughts on the Pat McAfee Adam Cole match.
That match sucked.
And you hated it.
It was the finish I fucking despised. The actual match was fine, really. Like, it wasn't great, but it was fine. But that finish was so fucking... We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Here, Pat, he's like, you're short, and you use your friends to win. And then it's like, okay. And then he had his NFL nerds there.
I mean,
it's like, cool.
He's right. He's correct. Adam Cole is short, and he does use his friends to win. But it's like, I think... McAfee is a really good heel speaker. Because he doesn't... follow the WWE isms. He just speaks like a normal dickhead would.
He's better than MJF.
No.
He actually is, legitimately. This is a better promo than the shit MJF has been doing on Dynamite lately.
No. And it's like... So he just comes off as like natural compared to like WWE speak of being I am heel, look at me heel. And it's like... So just having a guy that is a natural... piece of shit. Like, he just exudes shittiness, and I think that's what makes him a great heel. It's like, if Pat was an actual star, this would rule. Like, if he was an actual celebrity that people gave a fuck about, this would be so good. But he's not. He's just a dumb dude.
Yeah, that is the problem.
And then, the worst part of this segment was Cole at the end.
Why?
Walks up into his face and starts whispering a promo at him.
Oh, yeah, that's very strange.
Oh, I'm gonna beat you on Sunday. The worst. I hate that shit so much. Like, and how the crowd just conveniently all decided to shut up so the cameras could pick up Adam Cole saying that line.
Are you suggesting that these performance center people would be led?
Oh, I don't care about that. It's like,
Ryan Satin would be very upset about you.
Wow. I bet the WWE guys told the performance centers people not to swear while in the crowd too.
Whoa.
But they would be allowed to wear KKK uniforms. That is allowed. There's a lot of things that are allowed in NXT that shouldn't be allowed, to be fair.
That's true. Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah. I was very upset because I watched the segment where, like, Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley felt like the hottest thing going into TakeOver. I'm like, yeah, I'm super into this. This seems like, that's not a match on TakeOver?
Yeah.
Okay. It was on the Go Home show too. I was like, obviously this is building to them having a match on Saturday. It's like,
nope.
No, it's not.
I really like Aaliyah and Rhea's dynamic of, like, how she's like scrappy and trying to get at her, but then she's like also kind of terrified of her.
Which is understandable. She's gigantic.
I think it really sells Rhea's, like, intensity well. And then there's the main event that happened.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream. How do you feel about this?
Velveteen Dream. Okay, well, I mean, this is all stuff that's been said 100 times now. That's what happens when you talk about a show 2 weeks later. The thing with Dream is, like, regardless of if you think he did what he's accused of or not, him being on television already is disgusting. And it's a slap in the face of anyone who's ever felt apprehensive about speaking out or about their experiences, because you're just like, well, even if you do, I'm still going to push him and he's still going to be in a title match on a big show. Nothing matters. And it's like, it's just so scummy and it's so disrespectful. Like, you couldn't, like, this is all just on the assumption of, like, they're just accusations at this point. This is the assumption I'm running on, right? Whatever I think doesn't matter for this conversation. Like, even if you have someone accused should not be on your fucking show. How stupid can you be? Like, regardless, like, he could be the biggest star in the world. He shouldn't be on your show while the accusations are going. Like, who thinks that's a great idea? And then Triple H to be on every fucking Cole defending it. Like, oh yeah, we investigated. Then they all come out and say, well, we were never contacted. And it's like, you're just digging yourself a bigger hole for some scumbag. Like, it makes no fucking sense. And to continue pushing him. He shouldn't even be on the show. Like, the push, like, really doesn't actually matter that much. He should be on the fucking show. And, like, imagine being in the locker room with that guy. Imagine being a Roderick Strong. Like, imagine being, like, someone who had your kid spray painted on his tights.
That's, yes, very, very, no. Oh.
Imagine being any parent in that locker room. And being told that, essentially by your employer, that, it doesn't matter. Would you be comfortable, right, bringing your kids to work? Would you be comfortable bringing your kids to the show? No, you shouldn't be. It's, for a company that's always like, we're aiming for kids. It's just like, it's so mind-dumbingly asinine. Why would you do this? And it's also the fact that, like, I don't want to watch anything that has him on it. I don't want to sit down and actually see this guy. Like, it'd be different if it was like, oh, the accusations had worn off. It'd still be completely shitty and irrehensible. But it's like, at least I could try and push it out of my brain for a second while I'm trying to watch this show to review it. But I can't, because it's in the middle of the fucking accusations being out there. It's just... He shouldn't be on the fucking show, full stop. That's it. Regardless of if he did it or didn't do it, he shouldn't be on the show now. It probably shouldn't be employed either.
So, Liam, what did you think of Velveteen Dream?
I thought Finn was really good in this match.
Finn's been good lately. I enjoy.
I thought he was really spry. Kind of reminded me of the Devitt of old.
Yeah, I think this year the Finn has been sneaky good this year, but he also hasn't done anything of note. So it's kind of
the problem is he's been sneaky consistent, but he hasn't like peaked on anything.
And he hasn't really been pushed at all. So he should win the belt next week. Let's be real.
I think he is, unless my lock of the week happens.
All right, we'll talk about that when we get to the next show. But yes, that's NXT from 2 weeks ago.
I'm sure everyone was like on the edge of their seats for it.
They needed our takes, which brings us into TakeOver. Speaking of takes.
Oh wait, are we going? I thought we were going to NXT, AEW, NXT. No, that doesn't make any sense. Continue.
Yeah, we're doing NXT TakeOver. We always do it this way, Liam, except we have more shows to talk about.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know what we were doing anymore. I lost sight.
Alright, NXT opened with a tag match. It was pretty good. There you go.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, didn't watch the pre-show. What a horrible person.
I normally don't even watch TakeOver.
That's true.
This is the first TakeOver I've watched in like 5 takeovers.
Clearly a fake NXT fan.
Yeah.
Finn Balor defeated Tim Thatcher, and I like this match a lot. This was actually probably I like the Fight Pit more. But other than Fight Pit, this was Tim's best NXT match.
This is alright. It's not spreadsheet or anything. I will give them credit. I think faster than most people, Thatcher does feel like he could be slotted in a main event at any point.
Even though he loses most of his matches?
It's more of a credit to Thatcher than a credit to them booking of Thatcher.
Because he's lost to Finn Balor, he lost to Sam Shaw.
He's about to lose to Damian Priest.
Wonderful.
So it's like...
Which, by the way, actually, yeah, he lost this match, and then he goes up being like, I want a title shot against you, Damian Priest. It's like, why? You lost your qualifying match. You lost this match. Why are you a number 1 contender for the freaking North American title?
See that? He's being smart. He's like, I have no reason to get this title shot, but I'm going to make him angry so he gives it to me.
Mind games.
Mm-hmm. That's funny about Balor. Like, I know that we were just being nice to him, but in this match, it really... Like, I guess maybe being next to Thatcher didn't help, but it's like Balor's whole thing is that he's meant to be like the cool badass kind of guy, you know what I mean? And he's like the least badass guy ever. He's just like he's just the most dude.
He wears a jacket very nicely.
I was gonna say it also doesn't help that like his real life personality is like such a dopey guy, and it's like. He's like, I'm this badass shooter man. Look at my dinosaur and cactus tattoo on my arm.
He wears a leather jacket well. That's all you need.
I suppose that is all you need.
To look badass.
Decent.
I like that.
That's
match.
It. Yeah, it's pretty good. Thatcher. Cool. A cool guy. Should actually try pushing him.
And have him win some matches. That would help. Classic NXT though. It's like, we're pushing him. Are you? It's like, yeah. He doesn't win his matches.
Yeah, that's not a part of pushing.
North American Championship ladder match as Damian Priest defeated Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream in a match that felt far too long.
It was far too long and it was far too stupid, and I didn't like it.
Do you know Dave Meltzer gave this match 4.5 stars?
Dave.
That man in ladder matches is something I will never... He never gets bored of them.
He just likes people falling off ladders. That's his favourite thing in the world.
Like, I enjoy ladder matches. I'm not like one of these people who's like, oh, ladder matches. Like, I do enjoy a good ladder match. This wasn't really one of them. It was okay. I don't have strong feelings. It was mostly boring, but 4.5 stars.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not even 3. Maybe 3 flat if you're lucky.
Yeah.
I winked towards the microphone. I hope they came across.
Yeah, that's what we capture. That's how microphones work.
Cameron Grimes is a fucking dickhead.
I really wish they just stop it. Just let him be a wrestler.
He's a comedy gimmick. He's a full comedy gimmick at this point.
But like, he's pushed more than he wins more matches than Tim Thatcher does. But he's a full comedy gimmick. It's so frustrating. Just make him a good wrestler. Why do you do... I know why they do this to him. He has an accent that sounds funny, and so everyone thinks he's a cartoon goof, even though it doesn't have to be that way. You can do whatever you want with him.
Yeah, you can even have elements of, like, comedy. Just don't make him an explicit comedy character, which is what you've fucking done. I guess, like, To summarize this match, too many comedy spots, but the big spots were good.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Gargano's fucking nickname.
I've forgotten what it is already. You told me us the other day.
The Wednesday night?
Oh, as in night.
The Wednesday night?
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. But see, Johnny Gargano is a giant dork, and that's a giantly dorky nickname. So I'm
so
thoroughly on board.
Stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much.
You're meant to hate it, Liam.
Yeah. I hate it. Good work.
Like Johnny's
Regan,
heel turn
sorry, go ahead.
has been so much better as he's just a dork, and it's so much better.
That's always been his heel character. Like that's what was him in DGUSA too. He was just like a dork who thought he was way better than he was.
It's like, you're not cool, you're a dork. Like he wears the white leather jacket as well, thinking he's cool as Finn, but he's nowhere near cool as Finn. Yeah. So it's very funny.
He's a dope, and he plays it up. Ironically, he's like what Cameron Grimes should be. It's like you're a cool guy, but you're also a bit of a dope. Bronson Reed rules.
I'm on board with I'm on the Brig Bronson energy train. I'm finally on board. He's won me over.
Thick boy, thick boy, thick boy.
Which of course means he'll never be pushed.
Yes. All right, we look forward to him in NXT Australia.
Yeah, he'll be your ace, along with
Ace.
Shane Thorne.
Hell yeah, Shane Thorne.
The generational rivalry of NXT or NXT AU.
Oh. NXT AUS or NXT AU. And NXT Anzac.
Well, that's what they do have plenty of people from New Zealand. About plenty, I mean Dakota Kai.
And like, there's a bunch of like dopes that like aren't real wrestlers that are there from New Zealand and Australia.
They can sign Fale.
Like rugby boys and such.
Which, based on your love of what's his name, you'll probably love them.
Yep.
I've already forgotten his name. Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland. He needs to drop the like stick though. The stick is unnecessary. He doesn't even use it to bash people in the face.
He could stick it to them.
Hey. I hope he sticks to wrestling.
Hey there. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. We already talked about this a little. My favourite spot from this match was Cole whipped McAfee into the steps. Well, you can talk about the finish in a minute. But Cole whipped McAfee into the steps, and McAfee like hit the steps knee first, and he stopped for like 2 seconds. And he's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And he just fell to the floor. It was very funny.
I gotta admit, he did a good job for his first match.
I think he did do a good job for his first match, but people went absolutely bonkers too far in that direction. It's like, oh, he was great. It's like Dominic Mysterio was so much better than him the next day.
Oh, that ruled. That match was so good, and he should have got like so much more credit than Pat did.
Like people were like Pat McAfee. People raved about. Like, fair enough, Dominic has trained probably much longer than Pat has.
Oh, Dominic's been training for like 3 years.
His father is Rey freaking Mysterio. But like he was so much like when I watch Dominic, so it's like the roses we threw at Pat McAfee yesterday for having what was likely a very highly rehearsed but good match, but it was very basic. He didn't have to sell anything. He did one impressive spot, which is a leap to the top and a superplex, and the rest was like super duper
superplex he forgot to sell.
Yes, and he didn't sell anything. He was rubbish. He couldn't sell for his life, which is, he probably should. And like my problem with this match, I actually quite liked like the opening stages of this match. Adam Cole just dominated him. Which
it was a really good story. I did like that.
And then Pat McAfee turned the tide. And then Pat McAfee had a control segment, which I think he needed to cheat a lot more in. He controlled the match for like 5 minutes, and he should have been like putting feet in the ropes, poking eyes, pulling hair, like doing everything he can to get like small advantages over Adam Cole, instead of just like beating on him for 5 minutes. It's like, no, he's a fighter. The other guy's not a fighter. The fighter should not be dominated unless the other guy's cheating. And then they went into the closing stretch.
I think that was literally my problem with like this match. Was like, in practice it was fine, but like it went 16 minutes. Like this guy who was just a dude came in and fought the best guy the brand's ever had, and a guy that you've made a very explicit point in saying he is the best by mentioning that he's the longest reigning champion, 2-time champion, all that jazz. And he goes in there and he goes 16 minutes with that guy. That makes Adam Cole look like utter shit. To just have Pat come in there and stand toe-to-toe with him, with like you said, not cheating enough. It's like, it's one thing if he had all of his goons in there, like, taking shots for him and whatever, but he didn't. He was just going toe-to-toe with Adam Cole. So does that mean Pat can just go in there against Gargano now instead of fighting Chance? Go in there with Ciampa instead of fighting Chance? You know what? Chuck Pat in the fucking 60-minute 4-way now. Because he can clearly keep up with them.
Put him in the fight pit with Tim Thatcher.
Yeah, because I assume as a viewer, he can keep up with all these guys now. And my God, this finish. Oh, this finish made me angry. Because he's just sitting there, not selling. And then Cole's like, I'm going to hit you with the... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to go to the second rope. And you're going to get up and you're going to just sit there for me, please. And he's like, oh, all right. Literally, at one point, I think, with a smile on his face. Like, Cole's just standing there, and he goes from sitting and looking at Cole dead in the eyes to standing up and bending over so he can take the fucking Canadian Destroyer. I was livid. I was like, that was so bad. That was so bad. You didn't, like, express to him that, hey, when you're getting up for this last move, don't just stand up and then bend over. Please, like, act like you're, like, stumbling into it or something. That was too much for him to comprehend, I guess. Anyway, Dominic Mysterio had a really good debut.
Yeah, I would say those are the little things that, like, a trained wrestler would know. But, like, I don't know. I'd imagine they rehearsed this match, like, blow for blow earlier in the day. It's like, please sell. Like, you know, also, please look like you're hurt.
If you don't think he's going to be able to sell up to it, just have Cole grab him and put him into the position for it. Don't just have him stand up and waddle over and then bend over.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio is the ace we truly need.
Dominic Mysterio ruled. He had really nice gear, too.
Legitimately, I'm very much like Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio against I know they did it on Raw, but that doesn't exist, against Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins is a match I'm like extremely looking forward to at Payback, and they better not
I'm gonna watch
mess it up.
Like, you know how much of SummerSlam I watched?
Not much.
I watched Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. You know how much of Payback I'm gonna watch?
Oh, how much?
Oh, I'm gonna watch Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, and also maybe Roman's return, because hey, Roman's pretty sick.
You should watch Charlotte against Asuka from SummerSlam. That was a very good match too.
Wait, what? Charlotte?
Oh, the other one, Sasha. There we go.
Okay. I was like, I don't think Charlotte was there.
Asuka wrestled half of the four horsewomen. I just got the wrong one of the wrong four.
She should wrestle all four in one night.
That would probably... They should just do an entire show. Asuka wrestles everybody. It's just the Asuka show.
Asuka versus everybody.
Yeah. Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai in a perfectly fine match.
It was alright. I don't remember a single thing from it. Raquel rules.
I'm the same. I was just like, this is okay. I was actually quite disappointed they introduced Raquel to be the person that helps Dakota Kai cheat, because I was kind of hoping like Dakota Kai would finally actually get a chance to actually be a wrestler. But then Raquel showed up on the freaking Go Home show again, and it's like, oh, this is just what this match is going to be, which is fine, because they're building to Raquel against Io, I would imagine, in the short term, as we said, before they go into Rhea against Raquel. Maybe Raquel wins the belt. Wouldn't that be funny? Anyway,
I would be really into that.
Sorry, Rick Mel Gonzalez. There we go.
Diesel Sean. Diesel wins the belt.
Put the memes together. Yeah, this match it was alright. I don't know. Which brings us to our main event. Oh, Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. 22 minutes nearly. This was the most boring match I've watched.
You hated this more than me.
Oh, like Kross is so boring. He's so boring.
There should have been 5 minutes of Kross just beating the shit out of Lee and then winning.
Of the 22 minutes that was this match, probably a good 15 of them was Kross just doing absolutely nothing. Just sitting there. For
the first 2 minutes really ruled, and the last 1 minute was pretty good.
And then there was the bit in between where Kross just sat on him for what seemed like an age. Like, Kross is so boring. He's a very boring... Like, he had that one Bloodsport match with... it was Davey Boy Smith, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it ruled.
Or, sorry, David Hart. The junior one, the child.
Harry Smith.
Harry Smith, there you go. They had that very good match, and people thought Kross was good, because in that very specific Bloodsport environment, he had that one good match. And like anybody that's watched him anywhere else, you watch him on Global Force Wrestling Amped, you would have seen, oh, this guy is super boring. He's just like really generic and not very good.
But the thing, my problem with it is, you can work around it. But putting him in a 22-minute main event isn't how you work around it. That's what I really bugged me about this main event, is because I don't think you need to have Kross go out there and wrestle that long. It doesn't matter. Like, for some reason people have this conception now that like main events need to be 20 minutes, they need to be 15 minutes. They don't. You can just have Cross go out there and have a really banger 5-minute match with Keith Lee. Just do that. Have him win, and then guess what? A, he looks way better than he does here. B, he doesn't get hurt because he's not wrestling 22 minutes. Like,
well, I'm pretty sure he hurt himself in like the opening shoulder block. So,
oh god damn it, Cross! I'm trying to represent you here. But like, it's the whole like hiding people's flaws and accentuating like their good aspects, and it's like, why can't you just do that? Why have we given up on that aspect of wrestling now to just go everyone has to do the same thing and we just cut and paste and put people in those positions? Why can't we do something a little different? Why can't we have Cross be the guy who as champion beats everyone in 5 minutes? And like eventually that gets boring, but sure, like wait 3 months down the line and he can drop it to someone. You just have him go out there and do, like, all of his squash matches ruled. Just make those squash matches title matches and make them a little more competitive. And boom. I know it's a tired thing at this point, but wrestling really isn't that hard. Just see what people are good at and then do the thing that they're good at.
Yeah, and Cross is not very good at wrestling. So
the
less of it he does, the better.
Just have him be a presentation.
He is a very good looking meme. That is his strong point. And he's NXT champion until, as we move on to this week's NXT, he forfeited the NXT title.
Boy. So with this one, it's like, I really want to give the Voices of Wrestling, our wonderful patrons,
fathers.
Yep. Credit, because they made a really good point that I'm gonna quickly Google. Quick, distract him with vamping.
So NXT opened with Killer Cross and Scarlett, coming to the ring, full fall and pray. They did their entire entrance, and then Cross is like, okay. I have okay, go on.
Okay, so I'm going to read the tweet verbatim because I just think it really summarizes everything that's wrong with NXT kind of stuff. Karrion Kross having to vacate the NXT title due to injury 2 weeks after summoning fire to blind his opponent is why we always say you need to stay in / create a consistent universe in wrestling. At least when Taker would go away for surgery in the 90s, he would die. Get buried or rise to heaven or whatever the fuck. It was shit, but at least it was consistent. I read that and I was like, that is such a perfect point for this. You have the big... That's like if Aleister Black was the title and he was this demon man, blah, 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 and he just comes out and goes, my foot hurts, sorry, bye.
Yeah.
It's like, you can write them off in a similar manner that like their character works. Like, you don't need to... Or like just have him be like cool guy who comes out and beats people up. Don't have him have smoke and fire and a demon mistress.
And like even if he's the cool guy that comes out and beats people up, I don't like him as the guy that walks out and like, my shoulder hurts, I'm giving up the title. That feels like so far away from a thing his character should do. Like, he should be stripped of the title. As you said, he should be killed and disappear. Like, he is not the guy who should be like, I'm in pain, I give up. That's not his character.
Or at the very least, don't have him on screen. Just have Scarlett give it up. You already have an out with having a manager who can be like forced to do it for him.
And he should be furious at the idea. He should be furious at the idea of having to give up this championship. Like, angry at it.
If you're gonna do it, have him come out there in the same like thing with the sling and whatever. Have him have the titles and have him go, they're making me give it up. And then have him go like, no, I don't want to give it up. This is stupid. I'm not giving up. And then have a bunch of security run out. He runs through security, boom, boom, boom. And then at one point, someone just grabs the title and takes it back away from him. Make him like, having him just go, here you go. It's so stupid when you could just... It must be a sign of just creative bankruptcy that you just can't think of an interesting way for a guy to get rid of a title, so you just have him come out there and go, sorry, I'm hurt, bye.
But like that's the thing they've always done though. It's like Shawn Michaels comes out and I lost my smile. It's like the guy that gives the big emotional promo. It's like Edge did it as well. He gave the big emotional promo, and that worked. Shawn Michaels, there were circumstances there, but Edge, it worked more or less for Edge's character, and Edge is a better promo. But yeah, this guy who's like this unstoppable killer is going to walk out and say, "Boo boo, my shoulder hurts. I'm giving up this belt I just won." And I'm like, that's not what he should do. That's really not what he should do on any level.
Like, he shouldn't have been on screen to give this up.
Or if he was, as you said, he should have been killing people and mad at it. He should have been mad. He should have been mad here.
Imagine if this exact segment, right, was replaced with two people, okay? I'm going to give you the scenario. Mm-hmm. Lance Archer wins the AEW World title and he gets hurt in the match. And the next night on Dynamite, Lance Archer comes out in a button-up with Jake the Snake behind him looking sad. And he goes, I have to give up the title because I'm hurt, but I'll be back. And he puts the belt in the ring and leaves. Do you think that makes sense for Lance Archer's character?
No.
So do you think it makes sense for Karrion Kross, Demon Summoner,
No.
Fall and Prey, Cult Man to do that?
No, it doesn't.
It's like, Lance would do exactly what I just described. He would have Jake would be like, oh, come, we have to give it up. And then he'd be like, no, and tearing through everyone on the way out. That's how, our lasting impression shouldn't have been, oh, poor Karrion. Our lasting impression should have been, yeah, that motherfucker's going to come back and he's going to kill everyone until he gets that title back.
This wasn't good. Yeah, this guy is try. That's it. Really. I just want someone to try instead of doing this crap.
I just want more than the effort I put in when I'm booking 5 TW shows in a row.
Yeah.
Like, you have weeks in between your shows to think of different ideas. For me, it's fine because I skip directly to the next show. It takes me 30 seconds. I have to do something that's very similar and generic. You have weeks to think of it. It's like, even if in this case, you saw it was the next night or the 2 nights after or whatever, or 4 or 5, you still had enough time to think of more than just he goes up and gives it up and looks sad.
Breezango defeated Imperium to become NXT World Tag Team
another
Champions.
thing I fucking loved.
I thought they had a good match.
Oh, yeah, they had a good match. The match wasn't the point.
You not a fan of Breezango, Liam? No, you know what? The fact that they were like, Breezango, this is their first ever championship in WWE, both of them. Johnny Curtis signed his WWE development deal in 2006. Tyler Breeze has been around since 2010. That is a combined between them 24 years in WWE, and this is their first championship.
Garrett, the retired Wade Barrett, classmate of Johnny Curtis, was on commentary for his first title win.
Like, they were like, oh, it's his first, like, such a burial. They shouldn't even bring it up. They shouldn't even mention that that's his first title, because it's such a burial that this guy has been in WWE system, and he's been on television since like 2009. So it's not like he's been in developmental. Like, he's been on major television for over a decade, and this is his first championship win. It's like, what? Also, think of how many things he has done to never win a title. And like, the bar for win, this isn't like 1989 WWF, you know, where like stars win the Intercontinental title and stars win the world title, and even like only good teams really win. Maybe not only good teams, but mostly good teams only win the tag titles. This is 2020 WWE, where they throw belts at everybody. Literally everybody wins a belt at some stage, and the frickin' Tyler Breeze and Fandango have spent a cumulative 24 years in this. 24 years, Liam, without winning a championship.
And I don't even want them to win this belt. That's the thing.
Poor Imperium. Like, poor Imperium. They had the shittiest reign.
And they rule. And they're so good. Why would you take the belts off of them?
Because they won the belts, then they kind of disappeared off TV for a while. They came back to have a match with frickin' Undisputed Era, in which the entire point of the match was Pat Mcafee. And then they lost the belts.
They lost the belts to a team that are going to be a transitional team to lose it to Phantasma.
To DJZ and frickin' Raul Mendoza.
Which, by the way, I'd be really happy for them to win it.
Well, at least that might be the end game. Knowing that, they'll just end up frickin'
in
beating
24
the
years,
Phantasma.
In 24 years, DJZ will win the IC title and it'll be his first title in the company.
Oh, God. Oh, 24 cumulative years between them without a championship win. And they bring that up as if it's like, this is a monumental moment, and it's so not.
No, it just makes the brand look like shit, because it's like, look at all these old fucks who are still hanging out on the cool youngster brand. Like, these are guys who should be on the Raw and SmackDown with tag titles. Like, but the whole, like, the fact that NXT is not the cool hip thing that it pretends to be, that's a tired discussion at this point, I suppose.
Listen, speaking of cool and hip, Damian Priest was still partying from his championship win.
Yeah, actually, Damian Priest is just Aleister Black who fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it rules.
Tim Thatcher
That's why Damian
jealous.
Priest is
That's
the
what
coolest.
Tim Thatcher is. He's mad. He's jealous.
This is a what do you call it? The Chad versus the Virgin meme. This is what this is.
Finn Balor wishes he could be as cool as Damian Priest.
Oh, so does Karrion Kross. I like how, I think at this point, every generation of NXT has had to have the cool, spooky guy. Like, there's one gimmick that Triple H cannot live without. It's the cool, spooky man. You gotta have your The Ascensions. You gotta have your Damian Priest, the Demons. You gotta have your Karrion Crosses, your Aleister Blacks. You gotta have like 3 iterations of the Ascension, by the way. Not even just one. It's just, we gotta have a cool Baron Corbin. Like, you gotta have anyone, there has to be a guy who has slicked back hair and a cool jacket.
That's all you need as a wrestler, though, to be fair.
That's the necessity of NXT. You want to get over in NXT, that's the kit. And even Tommaso Ciampa is now Aleister Black adjacent.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like Wilderness Aleister Black. Okay. Karrion Kross is Aleister Black if Aleister Black was in a committed relationship. Damian Priest was if Aleister Black went to nightclubs instead of cult parties. So, I think this is just... You know how there's like the whole Kevin Bacon thing?
Right.
This is a new variant where it's just degrees of Aleister Black in NXT.
Yeah. 5 degrees of Tommy End, yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano was Tommy End if his parents loved him. So it's like... he's rich Tommy End. So yeah, there's just... every time I look at an NXT character now, I just wonder how many degrees away from Aleister Black are they?
Tommaso Ciampa killed Jake Atlas. He's back on the show. He beat him up some more after the match.
It's kind of ruled though, but it's like, remember when Jake Atlas had like an actual part on this show and not just guy who got beat up?
Yeah, but he's a cruiserweight, so they just send him out to die. I like that Ciampa has gear again.
Yeah, the man like goes through like look changes at every second. And of course, beating Jake Atlas in 50 seconds does make you credible enough to put you in a title match out of nowhere. To be
fair,
after being away for 2 months, it's cool. No, that's just beat Jake Atlas.
They didn't anticipate their champion being injured. He wasn't just going to become number. I'll give them a pass on that because it's extraordinary.
Okay, then make it a 3-way with the 3 people who have been here.
But Adam Cole freaking went toe-to-toe with Pat McAfee after losing the belt. Does he deserve a title shot?
I don't think Adam Cole's going to be in that title shot.
Well, he's still put in the match, though. Yes. Johnny Gargano also hasn't been particularly pushed very hard recently.
Yeah, it's
really extraordinary circumstances. It's fine.
People are really shitting on that match, but like, maybe with 4 of them, it won't make me want to smash my head into my desk repeatedly.
I think that match will be shockingly good.
Yeah, I think they're going to go...
I mean, it's going to be terrible. You shouldn't watch it. You should watch Eric Young and Eddie Edwards instead.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
I know which show I'll be watching.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that match is fine. I think it's gonna be, like you said, a lot better than people expected, or it'll be like, one final beat off and it'll suck.
I think they'll just do shitloads of stuff for 60 minutes. It'll probably be there'll probably be parts of it that are boring. Someone will look at their hands. Just
you wait. They're gonna go backstage at NXT and it's gonna turn into a cinematic match for 30 minutes.
That will be very upsetting.
Okay, I'm curious. Mm-hmm. We haven't really seen Balor go that long. How do you think he's going to fare in the 60-minute bracket?
I feel like he has very many abs. I'm sure they'll carry him through.
But he's also a decrepit old man now.
That's true. But there's 4 of them, so he can sit in the floor for 15 minutes at any given time.
Fair. I wonder if he'll get like a tattoo of a Kirby or something while he's down there.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Kirby rules. I finished Kirby Superstar this week. Good game.
I said that and then I immediately was like, I should get a Kirby tattoo. But I'm also not trying to be pew shooty man.
Tegan Knox still has issues with Candice LeRae, I guess. That's the thing they're still doing.
Okay. Go, Tegan. Go get her.
Bronson Reed slapped Austin Theory in the face.
Austin Theory.
Alright, just go back and listen to the thing I just said about Velveteen Dream and just pretend he said Austin Theory in the same spot every time.
Just copy paste that segment and put it right here. And wait, I'll give you a clean one. Austin Theory.
There you go.
Theory. Oh, sorry. Please
no, it's fine.
I'm giving you 3. Theory. Austin Theory. Austin Theory. There you go. And you can just splice those in there over the top of Velveteen Dream or Dream.
You got to give me a mad one.
Austin Theory.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah, at least he got slapped in the face. At least someone's like, I disrespect you, pedo man.
Like, who's it going to be that's going to, like, start taking liberties with these guys?
Tim is just going to kill them.
It's just like, just wait until Strong and Dream are in the same match again.
Mia Yim lost to Shotzi Blackheart. Yeah, it's a little match. Nice little sprint. Shotzi looked
I
good.
hate Shotzi.
She did run over
and
Robert
she keeps
Stone
hurting
again.
my boy Robert Stone, and I don't appreciate it.
She ran him over again. He
just
did not deserve this.
Also, he's like real ballsy for taking this getting run over thing multiple times.
I'm sure the tank is made out of plastic.
Yeah, but I still feel like that would hurt. Like over your ankle or something, just break it.
He's a pro.
Especially with this one, she like ran over him from behind, like up at the back of his calf. But this was a match.
Yes.
Mia is very clearly on the way down. Shotzi is on the way up.
As much as somebody can be up and down in the NXT Women's Division, which is the most 50-50 division I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, until they get their title shot, and then it's like for 4 months they're killer. Not 4 months, 4 weeks.
It's a strange division.
We got the announcement of the 60-minute Ironman match.
Yes, next week.
God, I dreaded this when they said it though. I gotta admit. Like, now with some like time away from the announcement, I'm a little more into it. But when they announced it, I was just like, no.
William Regal obviously just watches Impact. He got inspiration from Jordan Grace against Deonna Purrazzo.
I haven't seen that yet. I do want to watch it though.
Yeah, I think that they'll have a good match next week. I'd be very surprised if this match isn't at least good.
But you know there's going to be a moment where DIY, they're both on the side of the ring, and Finn's in the middle, and they both just look at each other. They chuck up their little dumb Finn thing that they do, and they're going to run at it, and they're going to embrace, and Johnny's going to be like, yeah, we're together again, and Ciampa's going to slowly turn to him, and he's going to murder him in the ring, rip his head off.
Yeah, good. I like that stuff.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Bet. Yeah.
Santos Escobar defeated Isaiah Scott's Swerve with a loaded mask. He headbutted him with his fancy loaded mask. And there you go.
I don't remember anything from this.
It was.
I remember like watching it and thinking that was good, but couldn't tell you a single thing about it.
I don't know. Escobar he doesn't do it for me. I like Scott though. I enjoy Scott.
I think Scott's real good. He needs to go back to his old gear though, and I like this 3-length tight steel.
Yeah. So I don't mind. Who's Escobar going on to next?
It's probably Scott again.
Spud?
No, Spud's getting beaten up by Killian Dane.
That's true. Oh god, we'll talk about that in a minute. Who else? Kushida maybe? Kushida would make sense, I guess.
Sure.
He's not doing anything else in the show.
It'll be different this time, I swear. Kushida will be back, and you'll win matches.
Kyle O'Reilly defeated Drake Maverick, and I actually quite liked this match while it lasted.
Yeah. This match ruled.
It was like there's a 3-minute match. Spud was fiery. Kyle ended up killing him and trapped him in a knee bar and tapped him out. Very good stuff.
I'll take this opportunity to give you my prediction for next week. I don't think Adam Cole will be in that Iron Man match.
Okay.
I think Kyle O'Reilly will be in that Iron Man match.
Whoa.
I think they're going to do some sort of whodunit thing, because they love to do their whodunits. And I think Kyle's going to end up taking Cole's place. And I think Kyle's going to end up winning the match.
So then Cole goes babyface, feuds with Kyle O'Reilly. That would be a very good main event program to carry us through the next few months and TakeOver. Because Undisputed Era, despite the weird babyface turn they did for Pat McAfee, were very much heels
they're
here.
straight up heels here, yeah. So I think they're going to do a thing where either Roddy or Bobby will start siding with Cole. Then eventually they'll do a tag between the two. That person will turn on Cole. Ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. We end up with Kyle leading Undisputed Era versus Cole at some sort of takeover. Kyle wins, retains. Cole is off to SmackDown.
That would be good. They should do that. So they're not going to.
Yep, but hey, hopefully there's a booker listening and they'll employ me for my great ideas.
After the match, Undisputed Era beat up Spud before Killian Dane made the save, and everyone was like, "Oh!"
I was like, yes, big baby face Killian Dane, do it.
Before then, Killian Dane also beat up Drake Maverick.
No.
So we're getting a Drake Maverick against Killian Dane feud on this WWE NXT show.
But like, we'll probably get Killian Dane versus Roddy first or something, and that'll probably rule because Roddy's like the best.
I don't know. I think they're just going to move straight on to Dane and Maverick.
Oh, that would suck.
I did like, though, that like they jumped Maverick a couple of weeks ago, and then, you know, he at least got the match against Kyle O'Reilly. You know, it's not like they completely dropped it. Mm-hmm. Which brings us to our main event. Was it just me? Or, like, when this match went to the ring in the main event, I was like, what's the main event of this show? And then I was like, oh, wait, it's this?
Yeah. I had that when they had, like, the little insert promo thing earlier in the show between someone in this match. I was like, oh, that's the main event, huh?
Yeah,
cool.
So there you go. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai defeated Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley after Gonzalez defeated Rhea Ripley after Mercedes Martinez interfered to drop Io off the apron. Or drop Rhea off the apron? Who should she drop off the apron?
Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea off the apron. There we go. So
it was, I can't tell you a single thing about this match. Like, I didn't hate anything, but it's like I don't remember anything. Like, it was forgettable.
There you go. That's our episode of NXT.
Yep.
I don't know. It wasn't the worst. That's some good matches.
No, it was pretty decent.
There's only the two segments that I'm very upset about. The cross and the tag. Well, actually, no, I'm actually more fine with the tag title change than you are. I don't care with the NXT tag division that much, so I'm just fine with them putting it on Ring Tango.
See that? Okay. The reason I do care about that tag team title match is because I think the tag team division, when it's actually, you know, the matches themselves, there's not that much story. There should be way more story for the division, but the matches themselves are like the tentpole of NXT. They're the most consistent thing. That's why I care, and that's why I liked Imperium as champs, because I really thought they were going to get to do that again. To the times of old, to the times of British Strong Style and Red Dragon and such. Or Kings of Strong Kyle, rather, I suppose, at that point.
So, yeah. And then there's the cross thing. Bad. But that takes us to AEW Dynamite, which we will go through pretty quickly. FTR beat Private Party. The match was fine. I don't care.
Alright, Jesus.
Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Actually, no, I do have something else to say. They were like, oh, Tully Blanchard is like getting Bill Belichick as your coach. It's like, Tully Blanchard has been manager of Shawn Spears for a year. Shawn Spears who loses all of his matches. So let's not try and pretend like Tully Blanchard is some super... He makes a ton of sense to put with FTR, but stop trying to present him as this super coach who's been coaching this loser for a year.
I like how you can automatically see Tully be way more into managing FTR than he was with Spears.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like, he's like, I know I'm with a real act now.
I'm actually going to try. He's actually been one of the better promos on the show. Other than
So with this gauntlet, are we going to break it down match by match, or are we going to...
The gauntlet's next week. We're still on this week.
Oh shit, we haven't done the first AEW, have we?
Yeah, this is the show we're on. FTR against Private Party.
This is really confusing.
John Moxley did a promo on MJF.
Sorry, okay, we went all 3 NXT shows in a row, and now we're doing 2 AEW. I thought we were going to go NXT AEW 1 week, TakeOver NXT AEW the second week. Okay, I'm back into it.
We covered 3 NXT shows in a row.
Yeah,
How are you still
I just assumed that we did AEW at one point.
John Moxley, good promo. MJF, bad promo.
I apologize, guys.
Alright, Lucha Bros and Phoenix against the Butcher and the Blade against Nerds. The Nerds won.
Hey, we gave NXT a full hour. We can give AEW some time. We don't need to rush through it.
Listen, we're 58 minutes in. And we're going to, if we're going to go blow by blow in the next AEW show, this 2 weeks ago show, we're just blowing through.
Okay, cool. Can I get some points out while we're doing it?
Go on. Do you have any takes? MJF bad, Moxley good, Nerds won, and FTR against Private Party. There you go. Do you have anything else?
Okay. Elite Dark Order stuff was good. I like Hobbs and Allen.
We're not on that yet.
Are we? Oh, I thought we were skipping through everything.
We are, but we're still talking about the stuff we were talking about.
Are we? Okay, so we're up to the Lucha Bros. Everything else fine. MJF good. That's it.
Oh no.
MJF good. That's it.
Stinks.
Then we got.
He actually stinks. I'm sick of him. I'm gonna bury him in the next show.
And then we got Death Pentagram.
Death Pentagram indeed. Eddie Kingston's there winking. I like Eddie Kingston when he's winking.
Eddie Kingston's great. I'm glad
he's a man with a plan.
I'm very curious to see where this goes. I don't think he's going to end up with all these guys for very long. It's a very weird stable.
Well, the idea is like he's winking and he has plans and he's nodding at the camera. So who's his end game? That's the thing. It's gonna be LAX. It should be LAX.
But then they have to like show some sort of dissension with LAX and Jericho at some point.
It should be actually no. He should lead a stable of the Lucha Bros and Private Party, or not Private Party, Proud and Powerful, the other P&P.
I don't think he can have 2 tag teams.
Can't he? He has 2 tag teams now.
And I don't think it's gonna last.
Or what he's going to do is he's going to turn one of these teams on the other. So he's going to turn the Lucha Bros on the Butcher and the Blade.
If he turns anyone, he should turn the Lucha Bros.
Yes.
But, yeah, and then, cool. Alright, keep running through everything.
Mimosa Mayhem is coming up at frickin'... I hate this. Alright, look. We talked about, I think, maybe it was just me by myself, or maybe this was the last episode we did together, but we talked about what's next for Orange Cassidy. It's like, you've done the big serious turn. You've done the moment where he's suddenly taking something seriously. So it's like, what's next for him? And they're like, all right, we're going to continue the Chris Jericho thing, and we're going to do a meme match. And I'm like, really? That's what's next for Orange Cassidy? That's what you're going to pivot to next for Orange Cassidy after you did the thing? And it's like WWE nonsense that everything, because his name is Orange, everything they do with him has to be orange. So he has to do mimosa matches and be beaten up by oranges and drop orange juice from the sky. And it's rubbish. But like, these two should be having like a Texas death match at All Out. Something gritty, something violent. There should be blood. There should be a wild brawl. It shouldn't be who could dump each other in a tank of orange juice, and that's the natural progression of this feud. That's the like, they've gone from meme to serious back to meme. That's the opposite of how things like this should work. It's stupid and I hate it.
Alright, what if I told
Don't you defend the Mimosa Mayhem match. I will fight you.
What if I told you this was a serious meme?
No, there is no such thing as serious memes.
Aha! We're exploring new territory here, brother.
And like, we'll talk about this in the next show, but like, it was a really cool end of the show where we're freaking, mostly because they were freaking running out of time, but Orange Cassidy sprinted across the stage and attacked Chris Jericho. They went off the air, and if that was the build to our freaking, as I said, it should be a Texas death match. That's the right stipulation. Where they're gonna kill each other. These two, they're sick of it. He's serious, and he's sick of all the orange shite, and they're gonna absolutely destroy each other. No, they're gonna dunk each other in a tank of orange juice.
Okay, what if this happens? What if they have a really serious bloody brawl and they beat the fuck out of each other, but it ends with Jericho getting thrown into the mimosa? And he's in there and he's covered in blood, he's got cuts all over him, and he's just screaming because all the citrus is getting into his cuts.
And then the mimosa turns red with his blood.
Yes! Alright, see, this is a great idea. You were all in on the mimosa match now, right?
I hate it, it's stupid.
Damn. I don't love it, but I also don't care.
I don't know. Like, if they didn't do the serious pivot with Orange Cassidy, I'd be like, all right, it's more Orange Cassidy memes. But they did the serious pivot, and then they went back to the memes. That's stupid.
I don't care. I don't care. I'll watch it and I'll be like, I just really hope we haven't set a precedent with Stadium Stampede that every pay-per-view now needs one meme match.
Oh, well, we have. It's the same. WWE are doing the same thing. Everything has every one of their shows has a meme match too.
Yeah, I don't want that though. So
no, it's very bad.
No, stop doing that, please.
No, they really should.
You're listening, Kenny. I know you're listening to this show while you're watching SmackDown.
Speaking of Kenny,
Did you see that?
Oh my god, I did see that. It was very good. And he did tweet about it.
It's funny as that though. You're just sitting there like, oh yeah, alright, Roman, big dog, let's go.
Durder.
Kenny versus Roman would literally kill me.
It would be a very good match. Roman's a heel now, though.
Yeah, he is. I'm into it. I'm gonna watch just Roman segments and just Dominic Mysterio segments.
To read the Barry Lads tweets today, do WWE really think a top guy coming back from an extended absence, beating up 2 monster heels on his own with cool moves and wearing a wreck everybody and leave shirt is a heel? He turned off replies because this is rhetorical and the business is doomed. And I very much agree. It's very stupid. That's like, this is his heel turn? You finally made him a badass and we're supposed to boo him?
That's the thing, is like, this is his heel turn, but it's exactly the thing that everyone has been asking for like 4 years to make him a babyface.
But like, it's so disappointing that there's not a crowd, because like the crowd would have went ape shit for him.
Yeah,
killing
they would be so into it.
Yeah.
And I hope he punches Braun's stupid bald head off, and I hope he rips the Fiend's mask off and shoves it down his throat and just like stomps them all.
And then kills Heyman while he's at it.
I mean, he's a Heyman guy. He's not going to kill Heyman.
Yes, he does.
I hope that the end game of this is a big Brock Roman tag team run where they win the belts and they make them main event belts.
Imagine them like them against the Street. Who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions? I don't even know. Is it still Cesaro and Nakamura?
Shinsuke and Cesaro, which actually, well, that'd probably be pretty good.
It probably would be pretty good. Speaking of pretty good tag team matches, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks defeated the Dork Order. Perfectly fine little match. Kenny's turning heel again.
I'm all in on the Dork Order.
I don't watch BTE, so I refuse.
The BTE bit has transformed onto their on-screen bit, and I'm all in on it, baby.
The characters on AEW are basically like characters on Aaron Sorkin shows, where it's like they all sound the same, but Aaron Sorkin is like Paul C. Wong, weird, fast-talking dialogue, and everyone on AEW eventually becomes a BTE bit.
Yeah, as it should be. This whole show is one long BTE bit.
That's true. Darby Allin
the whole
defeated
company
Will Hobbs.
is literally a BTE bit.
Darby Allin defeated Will Hobbs. Nice little match.
Yeah. I also like Will Hobbs. If he's not signed, he should be signed.
Team Taz came out. Ricky Starks did a Darby impression, which I thought was dumb, but then he was serious, and I thought was good. Serious.
It was pretty. Dumb. It was pretty funny, to be fair.
I thought it was like, but I don't care.
He did do I like turtles bit, so I can appreciate the classic 2006 YouTube humor.
There you go. But yeah, when he actually cut the serious promo, I thought it was much better. But yes, that's not a match at All Out for reasons I will never understand.
Because they're all going to be in the Casino Battle Royal.
Yes, why?
Yeah, okay. I agree.
This pay-per-view has no matches built.
Yeah,
the one good, well-built match isn't on the... This is like me and freaking Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley all over again. Where I watch these shows and I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to that. That's a good build. I'll get my payoff on the $40 pay-per-view. No, they're in the Battle Royal.
Oh, no, they're main eventing Dynamite with a tables match. Before we get
to next week.
Yes. I want to say one nice thing.
Say your one nice thing.
The quality of performer in the Casino Battle Royal from the last one to this one has skyrocketed.
Isn't Brian Cage in both?
You went from a bunch of dopes to Pentagon, Phoenix, Kingston, Cage, Starks, Darby. Like, I just appreciate that the level of quality of performer has really gone up for this year's Battle Royal, and also gives me more than one person who I think could win.
Yay, we can put all their good wrestlers in the match style that never has any good matches.
Alright, well, it's been a good podcast, guys. Just gonna head off. Let Garrett finish this one for you.
And challenged Cheetah. Very nice of the NWA to build up a woman for AEW's pay-per-view. Yeah,
to lose and then maybe get signed away from them.
God forbid they can't do it themselves. But Thunder Rosa against Cheetah is a cool match.
I've never seen a Thunder Rosa match. I don't know.
Oh yeah, this is probably. Is this the first time you've seen Power? Oh no, next week would have been the Power package. Was that the first time you've seen NWA Power?
I watched Kingston's promos on Power, but that's it.
All right. Ivelisse and Diamante defeated Brandy Rhodes and Ali to win the AEW Deadly Draw Women's Tag Team Tournament. I thought decent little match. I like this match.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of this tournament was.
I liked Ivelisse and Diamante a lot, though.
Yeah, and Ivelisse is one of the better wrestlers in this division, and Ivelisse against Cheetah should be a match they do. But like, what was the point of this tournament?
To give Brandy something to do.
Okay. Main event, the best thing on AEW Dynamite in months and months and months and months and months. Brody Lee killed Cody. He murdered him. He destroyed him. He absolutely massacred him. Cody got a flurry in at the start, and then
no, he didn't even get a flurry in. He got pushed off.
Yeah, but he went for it, and then Brody cut him off.
He didn't connect with anything though.
He killed him. He beat the shit out of him, and he pinned him. He's the new TNT Championship.
Yes.
Then Cody did the Dork Order celebrated. Cody did a stretcher job. He knocked him off the stretcher, and dumped the old remains of the TNT title on top of his dead corpse as he's the new TNT champion. Liam, this is good things. This is the reason I am not settling for less with AEW Dynamite. I am not settling for a mediocre show with bad stories that go nowhere and everything happens for no reason when this is what we could get from this television show. A good match with urgency and story. Fair enough, they didn't really build Brody Lee to this moment very well, but that's neither here nor there. We'll stick with the good stuff.
Boom. Let's go.
Like this is what this show can be. So I'm not going to settle for a shitty show with MJF doing shitty ass campaign promos when this is what this show can be.
Anna Jay choking out Brandy on the corpse of her husband.
Yeah, like this is a hot angle. This had everything AEW has been missing all summer, and like as I said, this is the reason I'm not going to settle for. I'm not going to be one of these people who justifies every shitty thing AEW does and talks it away, because this is what this show can look like, and this is what this show should look like. Though also people who were like, oh, look at the Dark Order when they were December, like they've still mostly been shit in between. This is like the first good TV Dark Order segment ever, but still.
And then next week one also ruled. We'll get to
it. Half of it ruled. I didn't like the first time. I don't want the evil cult doing comedy bits on television. It's
but it's good.
But this good television. Good. Do this, Abe. Stop being bad. Be good. This is good. Do this.
All right. Before we go into the next episode of AEW, we should give our winner for the first week, because we've talked about 2 weeks of the show now.
We've only done one poll, though. The only poll I did was the meme poll.
So I hope that we, as a team here, can come up with the same answer then. Otherwise, we're screwed.
So the poll for this week was, which show did you prefer tonight? NXT or NXT? The options were NXT or ... Wait a minute. ... Wait a minute. One with 92% of the vote.
NXT would never win a poll.
They really won't.
Okay. Boom. First week of NXT, the Go Home to TakeOver versus this episode of AEW.
Probably this episode of AEW. Yeah, let me look at the things that are on this. Yeah, we'll go with this episode of AEW.
This episode of AEW didn't have Velveteen Dream, and it also had Brody Lee and Cody being the sickest. So AEW wins.
Good angles. Do this more, AEW. Stop being bad. Be good.
Garrett, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 300.
862.
I said 1 and 300.
162.
Give me one. Vamp, damn it.
Oh, yeah. Like, people are like, oh, you're being grumpy and you're being cranky. No, the show hasn't been very good. Everything has happened for no reason. It's just been killing time. And this is a hot angle on a hot TV show that I want. Like, this is what this show used to be. It used to be filled with this stuff. And they just lost their way over the summer. They lost that sense of urgency. They lost that sense that what happens on this show should matter. Instead of just we're just going to do a Kenny and Hangman tag title match this week for no reason whatsoever other than just to fill the television time.
Yep. All right. Garrett, I'm going to give you a trivia question.
Okay.
And you're going to answer it.
Is this the new bit you said you were going to do?
Yep.
Okay. Because before we recorded, Liam was like, I'm going to do a new bit. Do you want to know what it is? It's like, no, we'll do it live.
Okay, I have opened up my WWE Encyclopedia, updated and expanded the definite guide to WWE. And I've opened it up to page 163.
Okay.
Does it say definitive? It does. I'm going to ask you a question based on this page that I've opened up, and you are going to answer it. Garrett, in February 7th, 1992...
Before I was born.
IRS and the $1 Million Man defeated who to win the World Tag Team Championships?
It's obviously Demolition.
No. Garrett, this whole bit relies on you getting the answer right.
I don't know. That's like 90s WWE history isn't my thing. Sorry, Liam.
Well, it was the Legion of Doom.
There you go. Oh no, well it's real Demolition then, not knockoff Demolition.
And that was the bit. Every week I will open a random page of the encyclopedia, updated and expanded, the definitive guide to WWE. And we will answer a random trivia question.
Maybe I'll get one right some week. AEW Dynamite this week began with the Gauntlet Match. Decent first match with QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. Boring second match with the Best Friends and the Young Bucks. Weirdly.
Yeah, went to an end. But what happened in that match? Alright.
Hangman Page. He's turning. So yeah, he grabbed Nick's leg, didn't he?
Yes.
And then Matt got rolled up to allow best friends to advance. So yeah, but I actually don't like. We didn't mention it the last week, but FTR got in Hangman's ear, being like, "Why would you want to wrestle the Young Bucks?" It's like, because he beat them. He should want to wrestle the Young Bucks. They won against the Young. Why would he fear the Young Bucks?
The idea is that they're playing on the fact that like Hangman has no self-confidence.
But they won.
Yeah, even though they won, it's Hangman, and he's like, "Yeah, I won. I won." But I don't know.
But FTR are a higher ranked team than the Young Bucks. Surely he should fear, if he has no self-confidence, he should fear FTR more than he fears.
Yeah, but they're constantly in his ear like, "Oh man, you're so good. It's alright. You can beat us."
No,
the thing about this turn...
I watched The Dark Knight yesterday, and Harvey Dent is lying in the bed, mad that his love of life got killed, and then Joker just walks into him, has one conversation with him.
Walks into him?
He walks into the hospital room dressed as a nurse, and he has one conversation with Harvey Dent, and suddenly Harvey Dent wants to murder children, and I'm like, no, stop it, that's not the way this works. And that's the same thing here, where the FTR have one conversation with him, and he doesn't want to face the team that he's already beaten. So it's like, I don't know, I don't like that. But yeah, they're doing the turn. I also don't like that they're doing the turn.
Unfortunately, you broke one of the cardinal rules of the podcast,
which is.
It's written here in the official Wednesday War Games Encyclopedia update and expanded the definitive guide to Wednesday War Games. Unfortunately, every time you mention Heath Ledger's Joker, you have to do a Joker impression.
Oh, sorry. Why so serious? There you go.
That's really good.
I don't like his Joker that much. I don't like the voice. But anyway.
Alright, well, there's no need for you to be more wrong,
So I did the impression. Are you happy, Liam?
Yeah, actually I am. It really made my day.
Okay. Yes, so Hangman screwed over the Bucks, and I don't want him to turn.
I think this turn is really forced.
Yeah, I don't want him to turn. Like, he's a good the point of the first year of AEW on TNT, like, my biggest takeaway is the redemption of Hangman Page as a babyface. And I don't want him to turn. Like, I think that's the biggest plus of this show in the 10 months they've been running so far, nearly 11. And yeah, I don't want him to turn. And they're still teasing the Kenny turn. So, like, the match at All Out is going to be heels FTR against Hangman Page kind of turning and Kenny kind of turning. It's like, what kind of match is this?
I don't know anymore, man. I'm just gonna watch it. It'll probably be a really good match, and then afterwards, Hangman will clothesline Kenny's face off or something. And then Kenny will be cleaner. And he'll do the duty doots.
So Kenny will get attacked, and it will somehow be a double heel turn. Yeah,
it's gonna trigger in his brain, and then he's gonna start shooting people and watching Raw. Yeah,
that is the ultimate suggestion of his heel turn. He's watching Raw, or he's watching SmackDown.
He should be watching Raw enthusiastically.
It's like, Kenny, there's something wrong with him. He's broken.
They're definitely going to play that up on BTE. Like, that probably was a BTE bit, him watching SmackDown.
Oh dear. Lance Archer killed Sean Maluda.
I actually really like Sean Maluda.
I like Sean Maluda too. I enjoyed him in the Cruiserweight Classic a lot, and he never really did anything in NXT. And like, he's a perfect person for Archer to murder. But
I watched him in his NXT matches. I watched his Evolve matches.
Oh, fake company.
Yeah. Oh, do you know who? Here's a new trivia question for you. Do you know who was the leader of his Evolve group?
No.
One Eddie Kingston.
Oh, there you go. So he's gonna be part of Kingston's pals. That should be the name of the stable, Kingston's Pals.
Kingston and Pals. And Pals. Yeah, I was really happy to see Sean Maluda. Found at least some sort of a place after Evolve, and I'll probably get to watch him on Dark.
I thought he was signed to WWE. Turns out he's not.
He was for a little bit, I think, and then he went to Evolve, so maybe he got...
But like Evolve is the feeder company, so
yeah, but maybe they transferred his contract to Evolve, and when Evolve went under, they were just like...
Yeah, I'd like to see Sean Maluda on the show more. I enjoy Sean Maluda.
Sean Maluda versus which Dark? Wardlow. Sean Maluda versus Wardlow on Dark. Let's do it.
We then went after the match. Taz and Cole came out.
I actually like this segment a lot.
I would have liked this segment a lot if it was the building to one of these matches. If it was building to Cage against Archer, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great stuff. Or if it was building to Ricky Starks against Darby Allin, I'd be like, oh, this is great stuff. Even if it's building to Brian Cage against Darby Allin, I'd be like, oh, really good segment. But it's like, oh,
or even a weird tag.
This is building to a battle royal. And I'm like, oh, that just took all the wind out of the... Like, as I said, this is, for me, the best built match of this pay-per-view cycle. The Darby against Taz team stuff is, honestly, I think, the only well-built match of this pay-per-view cycle. And it's not on the pay-per-view! I'm so frustrated.
I never... For some reason, it never occurred to me that, like, one day in AEW, Brian Cage and Lance Archer would be in the same ring together.
Yeah.
And when it happened, I was like... Alright, oh shit, let's go. I was like, I didn't expect that at all. Yeah, and Lance Archer should win the FTW title.
Like, if that would be a sick... Like, that again, that should be on All Out. Just, even if it's heel versus heel. Like, it's so much better than most of the things they have booked on the show. And
then Jake Roberts did the pussy licking motion.
Sure.
Right after Tony told the crowd not to swear.
Don't worry about it.
Good shit.
Oh, dear.
The Great Sheeta, Thunder Rosa, All Out pay-per-view build. That's
a very good
cool.
package.
Is Thunder Rosa good? I literally have never seen her wrestle.
She had that very good match with Sienna, but like I'm interested to see how she does, because like in fact NWA did a very good job of presenting her as someone that's important, and like they legit, unlike AEW in their women's division, NWA actually put time into trying to get you to care about Thunder Rosa.
Wait, you can do that?
I know, it's shocking. You can put Sheeta out there for longer than 2 minutes at a time. You're actually allowed.
Wait, so Sheeta doesn't have to be in the crowd every week?
Yeah, and when she wrestles, she can have matches that are longer than 2 minutes.
Wait. So you're saying Sheeta doesn't have to be in the crowd, the same crowd that Jericho called a bunch of nothings?
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be in that.
She can be a star. She's allowed.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so NWA made people care about Thunder Rosa, and then when they had that Thunder Rosa and Sienna match, or Allison Kay, people liked it a lot. So because people they got over.
Let's go.
Because they actually tried. Like we go on about the AEW women's division, but the thing that annoys me is people are like, give it time. It's like, it's been a year and it's gotten actively worse. So it's
to be fair, half of their roster is in Japan.
I don't know. Recruit better.
Recruit during the global pandemic.
Impact during the pandemic has hired Tasha Steeles, has hired Nevaeh, has hired Kimberly. It's not like and Deonna Purrazzo. Half of the Impact women's division at the moment has been hired since the start of the pandemic. So let's not pretend there's no talent out there. AEW just isn't looking.
Yeah, they got Taya Conte.
There you go. Who hasn't been on Dynamite yet? Oh no, she was on Dynamite this week for the first time.
And Little Swole.
There you go. Start putting these people on TV and start pushing them.
Nicole Savoy is actually real good, so...
People are like, oh, they're not great wrestlers. It's like, the Knockouts division originally got over with ODB and Velvet Sky. Let's not pretend that you can't get people who aren't the best wrestlers in the world over. They're trying with some of them on this show. One of them's main eventing with pay-per-view.
Remember when Nyla, was on the show?
I know.
And had an angle with a manager and then, disappeared? Alright, let's have the same tired MJF discussion.
This was his worst promo for me. I was like, he just went on and on. I'm so sick of it. And the thing that really compounds this for me is he's next to Jon Moxley, who is a great promo, legitimately a great promo. Immediately following this, you had Eddie Kingston, who is a great promo. And then later in the show, you had Santana and Ortiz cut a really good promo. There's people on the show, and Brody Lee cut a fantastic promo on this show. There's people on the show who are legitimately great promos. And then you just have MJF. If The Miz cut this promo word for word on SmackDown, people would not say a word. It would just be a Miz promo. Yeah. That's and it's fine. I don't think it's pay-per-view
He does have this sheen of newness.
No.
The content's tied, whatever. I'm saying the actual MJF presentation has a sheen of, ooh, he's young, he's different. But it's not different, but he's young and he's
not different. That's my problem. It's The Miz. I've seen it.
It's fine. Yeah. People. The thing is, people don't like The Miz, and they never wanted to like The Miz. So now that they get to like The Miz without liking The Miz, they like The Miz.
It's poor Miz.
I don't even want to talk about it because it's just the same discussion that we had every other week. We talk about MJF.
Yeah, he's bad. If he was good, I'd be happy.
Okay, this is probably his weakest promo. I liked him mocking Moxley's crazy man voice. He actually did an impression of Moxley, unlike me, the giant coward.
Do the impression. Do it. Do it.
On our
I
final
did
episode,
a Joker impression on this podcast.
On our final episode, I will do a John Moxley impression. Yeah, cool, whatever. Mox is going to face smart Mark Sterling.
I'm so not into it. And I find it so weird that they, like, MJF has never been presented like as a nerd, and the second he went into a world title feud, he's a nerd who doesn't want Moxley to do his move, and he's wearing a neck brace, and it's like, why are you he has never been presented as less of a threat than when he's moving into a main event world title picture on one of your big 4 pay-per-views.
He also hasn't wrestled him forever.
And yeah, the build to him going into this match was a feud with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy!
He lost the tag match.
Yeah, I think the whole presentation of MJF going into this pay-per-view has been utterly baffling. From the content, to the push, to the build-up to it, to the stipulation of the match being like, you can't do the frickin' paradigm shift, which is such WWE bullshit. It's like, just book the match. Why do you have to tell me going into the match that MJF can't beat the guy? So if he beats the guy, he did it illegitimately. He's a champion without credibility. And if he doesn't, he's just the nerd who lost. You've set him up to fail. Why are you doing this? All of it's bad. All of it is very bad. Oh, I miss the Lucha Bros on the show. The Lucha Bros are good. Back to good things.
We'll see you next week when we have this exact same conversation again.
Well, if you, I'm not even done. I find it very interesting.
I'm just gonna lean back. You just take this one.
How little they've presented MJF versus John Moxley as the main event program going into All Out. The only time MJF has been in the show closing segment going into All Out has been in a run-in spot for Darby Allin against John Moxley. That's the only time MJF has appeared in a main event segment in the build-up to All Out, which I find very fascinating, that, like, they don't believe in this match. You can very much tell by where they place MJF and John Moxley on this show that they don't believe in this match.
It's true.
There you go. Lucha Bros, Butcher and the Blade defeated Brian Pillman, Griff Garrison, Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, the Nerd Squad.
I have a problem.
Oh, yeah, I'll sit back. You can go.
Oh, it's going to take 3 seconds.
Oh, no. What's your problem?
How dare you motherfuckers start presenting Sonny Kiss and Janela as if they are going to be something for 2 weeks with really good videos. And then they're just jobbers. They're the same exact people that they were before those vignettes.
They really NXT'd them, didn't they?
They gave them, like, vignettes coming back soon, and then they immediately lost to Archer. And now they're losing in an 8-man tag against the weirdest squad ever, teaming with the fake Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah, it's not good.
And
the problem.
I'm sorry. They're winning on Dark. So it doesn't matter.
The problem is roster bloat. Like, actually, I think that the way they use Dark actually creates a weird cognitive dissonance on Dynamite, because, like, these people win on Dark, and you're like it's when Scorpio Sky came back after not being on Dynamite for 2 months, and it's like, where's he been? Why is he suddenly being pushed? Like, you can't do the work on Dark. That's not how this works.
Clearly, they need another show.
No, they don't. They need less shows. They need this show to matter. And they need a smaller roster, which is also the other problem. They don't have room for Sonny Kiss and Joy Janela at the moment, because they have a gigantic roster that they keep adding to. So,
well, and they have they've gone to the stage now where they're making the weirdest stables in the world with Pentagon, Phoenix, the Butcher, the Blade, and Eddie Kingston.
Just to get, like, legitimately, half of this is, like, just get people on the show, because they've hired way too many people. Yeah. Brody Lee and the Dark Order had their little celebration.
This rules. I need to adequately express how thankful I am that the Dark Order's BT personas have made it to Dynamite.
No, I don't like it.
Okay. I get that it doesn't make them a serious thing, right? Okay?
Uh-huh.
I understand that. I don't care. This is so entertaining, and it may not be connecting with you as much because you haven't seen the BT segments.
No, I'm not going to watch. I don't want to watch shoulder programming.
That's fine.
I'll do this rant every week.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not going to watch 2 hours of Dark.
Hey, that's cool. I don't expect you to.
Okay.
I also don't care if you don't like it.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Because I like it.
No empathy at all from Liam Jones.
John Silver is getting to be the dork that he was on BT, and I appreciate that. Because Brody Lee is so much more entertaining now. I like him having an edge. I like him being a crazy person. And I like him hating John Silver. Okay?
Why is he in his group then?
No one knows.
Okay.
Everyone hates John Silver.
Oh.
That's the bit. Brody Lee going through and hand-fiving everyone except for Silver is amazing. Preston Vance coming out of the casket and being like, hey, what up, guys? Yeah. Is so much better than him standing there with his hand up going, grrr. I get that you don't like it. I get that you don't not understand because it's not exactly complicated, but you don't get the references. That's cool. I do.
I'd like to get the references.
Well, you can watch BTE.
No.
Or you can wait until... Oh, hey, let me talk about Dark Order.
It makes sense. It makes sense from watching the TV show.
Hey, eventually, those bits will become more common in Dynamite, and you'll get it too. But just face you're behind the curve on this one, alright? And let the people who have seen this enjoy it.
It's like sitting down and watching The Sopranos.
Hey.
These characters are from this spin-off web show that you have to watch in order to understand the characters in The Sopranos.
And you'll get it when they start establishing those characters again on the new show. But let it be known that just because I saw the origin, just because I read the book, just because I read the book before the movie.
Don't you pretend that there is any intellectual level to be the elite. I will refuse. I refuse to allow you to do this to me. I thought the Brody Lee role was great. I thought the Brody Lee part of this was great.
You deserve it.
That was my favorite bit. Him shutting down the You Deserve It channel was fantastic because all You Deserve It chants are stupid. They should never happen.
Him laying out Silver.
Yeah, Brody Lee very good here. The Dork Order stuff.
They clearly mistimed this segment because afterwards they had to go, oh shit, we forgot to give Taya Conti the contract for the Dark Order. Go back out there and refilm that segment.
This show was a mess in turn. Like, we'll talk about it when we get to the main event, but the main event was like 6 minutes long because clearly everything on this show went long. And it's weird because like the segment we'll go on to in a second, which is Swole again, the handicap match. They held on that for like a minute and a half at the end for no reason. It's like, your show is running long. Why are you holding this shot where nothing is happening for a minute?
I just want to, before we gallivant off to the handicap match, want to congratulate Anna Jay on becoming number 99 of the Dark Order.
99 Rotballoonen fliegen in the Amazon.
That's very impressive. And I want to congratulate New Legacy Inc. for becoming number 69 after raising $55,000 for fighting back. Just coughing over me while I'm praising charity.
I was clearing my throat so I could deliver. When you finished talking, I was going to deliver a nice. But then
from the top.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's too late. It's too late.
All right.
People have already experienced the bit. No, it's all right. No, we're just going to move on. It's over. This is the being the elite. We've already done this. We're moving on to the Dynamite, and people won't get the point. They won't get the reference.
Number 69. And yeah, they raised a bunch of money. Congratulations.
Very good. Hangman Page is drunk backstage.
I like this segment. Okay, you probably hated it because you hate everything, but I like this segment. Okay.
I'm indifferent. I have no strong feelings.
Paige is sad, Matt is angry, and Paige looked into the broken mirror like Mojo Rawley. So yeah.
I'm indifferent. Handicap match, kind of terrible.
Reba. I like Reba though.
Give her a name. Stop you buying into Britt Baker. Her name's Rebel.
What? What's wrong with Reba?
She was doing a bit on social media actually that I quite enjoyed, where she was like the graphic said Reba, and she's like, my name is Rebel.
It's great. And then they forgot that to give Conti the contract, so they show up again and film this segment. And you can tell that they actually did just forget to do this because when Anna came out during the Dork Order segment, she literally had the contract in her hand.
Oh. How do you forget to do it?
I'm guessing this ran over time, and then they were like, "Oh, we didn't even talk about like Matt Cardona and the whole Nightmare nerds showed up."
Oh yeah, that's a pay-per-view match as well. It's going to be QT Dustin, Mark Cardona, and Scorpio Sky for some reason.
Oh my god!
Against the Dark Order.
It's the Dork Order versus the Nightmare nerds.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all out, baby.
How is that Mark Cardona's All Out match? What a weird show All Out is.
I thought it was going to be him versus Brody Lee, and that was going to make me angry because I was like, what the fuck did he do to deserve this shit?
Well, it's open challenges. They have no one does anything.
No, Brody closed the open challenge.
That's true. The All Out card is weird. It's a strange show. It's a show that doesn't make much sense.
It's weird because like they had a way bigger show with Double or Nothing and no fans, and they're like, fuck it, we'll just do the whole show anyway. And then they did All Out, and they actually have some fans, and they're like, no, we're going to give you a fucked up version of the show. It feels like a B pay-per-view. It feels like a Revolution, which actually was a way better show.
A much better build. Next week, Santana Ortiz against Best Friends, which for some reason isn't a pay-per-view match.
Oh, because we have to have Best Friends versus the Bucks or some bullshit like that on the show.
No, the pay-per-view match. We also Chris Jericho and Jordan on. Then we have the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express against Private Party and SCU, where the winners will face each other.
Stupid.
This pay-per-view is dumb.
Why the fuck is this match on the pay-per-view? Do you just need the Bucks to be on there?
So yes, it will either be the Bucks against Jurassic Express or Private Party against SCU. I guess they could have Private Party against the SCU.
I don't even want to watch that. I'll skip that. I'm announcing it right here. I'll skip that goddamn match if that is on the show. I don't even want the other one, but Matt Hardy.
Stupid. Our main event, Matt Hardy lost to Sammy Guevara after he was superplexed through a table that had a chair under it, which looked quite nasty. This match was fine. Guevara bled, but they only had 6 minutes, and all tables matches are bad, so they did their best.
Matt Hardy aging ever since he got hit with that chair on the head, I swear.
Well, that's probably what bleeding a lot does to you.
Man didn't look great here. Rough gear, rough hairline, rough everything.
It probably didn't help that you're like, oh, your match is being cut, and then
he's probably stressing before this match. To be fair,
and like especially because like they went to break. When they went to the start of the match at 10 minutes left in the show. I'm like, oh, all right, they're going to do a 10-minute match, and then they went to break, and I'm like, oh, Oof. They went to break at like 9:52 to come back at 9:55 to finish the match, and they still had a post-match angle with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho to do, so they badly mistimed the show. TK's got to put his foot down. People have got to hit their time cues, Liam.
Yeah, this is a bad match, but you can't blame them.
Well, I can't blame the tables matches. They're never good. Like, people, I think people are finally seeing the light on tables matches, that there's been one of them in the history of wrestling that's good, and that wasn't even that great. The Hardys Dudleys one is a good, borderline very good match, but nothing special.
Well, it really comes down to one thing. It shouldn't be a tables match. It should be tables are allowed.
Yes, tables are legal. You should do many table bumps, not just one.
You shouldn't build to one bump. You should put them through tables throughout the entire match.
It's a bad stipulation.
Orange Cassidy, no matter what you think about the build, this last segment with Orange Cassidy running in was pretty sick, I gotta admit.
Problem is, I don't mind the build. I don't like the match it's building to.
Yes.
It's a good build to a dumb match.
What if it was a First Blood Orange match?
No. I thought you were going to say First Blood, which is bad, but then you made a pun, which made it even worse.
Boom.
Show of the week. We never did a poll, so we have to agree on this one too.
Wait. Last Mandarin standing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The title of this podcast is going to be Wednesday War Games number 44. AEW Last Mandarin Standing versus NXT 5 Degrees of Aleister Black. That's going to be the title of this podcast. It's going to be very confusing unless people listen to over an hour and a half in, where it will all make sense.
That's two of the strongest bits I've delivered on this show, I feel.
There you go. What's your show of the week?
I don't even know anymore. Oh, as AEW, because Cross sucks.
It's also probably AEW. What's your match of the week?
Oh, we didn't do match of the last one either. At least we did. It was Cody and Brody.
Yeah, it's Cody and Brody. And honestly, I think mine this week is Kyle against Spud.
Oh boy.
I'm giving it to Kyle and Spud.
Yeah, fair enough. Do I have to give it to a specific Gauntlet match, or can I just give it to the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is one match, sorry.
Alright, I'll give it to the Gauntlet then.
Even though it had... Actually, no, I didn't even mention the end of the Gauntlet was very bad. The announcers thought they were freaking in a rest hold and started plugging later tonight.
Yeah.
And then the match ended.
Right, okay, you've actually made me reconsider this now. Yeah, I'll give it to the match that I liked the match but hated the result. Imperium versus Breezango.
There you go. You can follow us on Twitter at WarGamesPod, where you can vote in the poll that we will definitely start posting again next week. You can follow me on Twitter at Garrett Kidney. You can try to follow Liam on Therapin if you're famous or into kickboxing. Or do you have anything else this week?
If you have any connections to the voice acting industry.
There you go. If you want to give Liam a job in voice acting, you can.
I'm gonna add a new one every week. It's another bit now.
Eventually, then everyone will just be let in because everyone will be.
Yeah, but if you can benefit me in any way, you may follow me.
If you'd like more AEW coverage in your podcasting feed, you can listen to Everything Elite. If you'd like more W television show coverage in your podcasting feed, you can listen to Shake Them Ropes. I know you said WNXT again. Whoa, thanks for listening, and bye-bye.
Bye.